Good morning, this is Mike Houston with your Saturday morning weather hazard briefing for southeast Idaho. Looking at satellite imagery this morning, we have a high-pressure ridge positioned across the northwest states with a dry northerly flow across southeast Idaho. Looking further upstream within the Gulf of Alaska, you see some low-pressure troughs sweeping through the region there. They'll ride up over the top of the ridge, and we should see something coming in further west from the Pacific a little later in the week. Daytime highs that we are expecting today under that ridge, generally in the 70s throughout the Snake River Plain and 60s to lower 70s in the Central Mountains and Southeast Highlands. Here we are looking at our forecast charts. It does indeed show that ridge holding strong across the region this afternoon. Any precipitation would be east of the divide here into Wyoming and Montana. There's really nothing going on in southeast Idaho here. As we advance to Sunday, the ridge begins to break down a little bit as we have some energy riding over the top. We may see some isolated thunderstorm activity in the afternoon hours up here towards Island Park. Getting into Monday, the ridge still remaining somewhat subdued, so little features passing through the top of the ridge here would be able to initiate some sort of convection here on Monday afternoon. And here we are looking at some activity across the Central Mountains and northern highlands here into the Island Park region. And advancing now to Tuesday, we see a fairly decent little wave ejecting up into southwest Canada. The ridge axis now beginning to shift east of the Wyoming border, so that's going to be opening the door here for the potential for increasing shower and thunderstorm activity. And here we are Tuesday afternoon and evening looking at some shower activity across the southern highlands and even into the Snake River Plain here. By Wednesday, you can see a fairly significant trough beginning to work its way into the coastal waters. Shower activity developing across the Central Mountains and this moist and unstable southwest flow here Wednesday afternoon and evening. So we could see some thunderstorm activity in the afternoon and evening hours here in the Central Mountains and across the northeast highlands. Daytime highs should peak around Wednesday with readings generally running in the upper 70s to lower 80s within the Snake River Plain, and generally in the 70s within the Central Mountains and Southeast Highlands. Here we are looking at our forecast charts for Thursday. It looks like a fairly significant disturbance lifting up out of that trough on the coast, producing some fairly accentuated thunderstorm activity here just off to our north and west. We'll have to keep an eye on that. That may actually penetrate a little further to the south and east into the Central Mountains, so we'll have to watch that. And under this nice moist southerly flow, we're beginning to see some heightened activity here across the southeast highlands on Thursday afternoon and evening. So looking at an increasing potential of thunderstorm activity as we work our way into the latter part of next week. And as we work our way into the Friday afternoon, that wave that ejected through the region on Thursday is well up into Canada, but it looks like we got a negatively tilted trough working its way through the Great Basin, so that should support shower and thunderstorm activity here primarily across most of the highland regions. We may even see some down in the Snake River Plain. And as we advance to Saturday, it looks like that trough now working up into Montana. And in the wake of that, we should see cooler temperatures here on Saturday, unfortunately, but still see some shower activity up along the Montana and Wyoming border regions. Still have this trough to deal with off the coast, and that'll be an item to watch as we work our way into the following week. All right, with all that activity, just taking a look at river observations this morning, we still have the Big Wood at Haley still at bank full stage, so we do have a flood advisory out in that region. And then as we go ahead and look at the forecast for the next 8 days with those warmer temperatures and precipitation potentially impacting the region, we expect to see the Big Wood at Haley rise into minor flood stage through the 8-day period, and we may even see the big lost here up near Howell River Ranch above Mackay begin to see bankful conditions. Yesterday, the forecast was calling for a minor flooding in that region, so we'll have to watch to see how the forecast and increasing temperatures impacts the region here. That's all I had this morning. If you had any comments or questions, you can go ahead and give us a call here at the number on the screen. Thank you.